Do you come home and your children are starving and your husband is starving and you need to get something quick on the table? It needs to be filling and it's a great appetizer. This is the perfect one. My name is Lisa Hildebrand and I'm from Pinehurst, North Carolina. It's a Philadelphia cream cheese, corn, and rotel dip. Very simple to make, 4 simple ingredients. It's the easiest dip and it's a crowd pleaser and it is filling, very filling. First thing you do is take your Philadelphia cream cheese, open up the nice, beautiful packaging that it comes in. Very easily peel open the wrapper, and it requires the whole thing of cream cheese. So you open that up, and you put it right into the bowl. Next is the corn. The corn, we use frozen shoe peg corn. Shoe peg corn is a white corn. It is very sweet and tender. It is the best corn that there is, and it is grown here in North Carolina, but I'm sure it's grown in other parts of the country too. Next we have rotel. I had never used rotel before, and this recipe was inspired from a friend of mine in Asheville, North Carolina, Tracy, and she introduced me to rotel. It's tomatoes and chilies. Okay, so you open up the can of tomatoes and chilies. You hear that noise in the background? Those are our children running around like crazy in the background. We always have a lot of children over here, and this is a great dip for them too. I have 2 boys. Their names are Jack and Max. Jack is 9 years old. Max is 6 years old. They play every sport, but my husband coaches both of their soccer teams. And at any given time, we may have 4 or 5 children over here eating this dip. So the first thing you do is you mash down this cream cheese. And then you take the rotel, and all I did was strain the rotel. I'm not going to rinse it because you want all the flavors from the chilies and the tomatoes in there. And you pour the tomatoes into the cream cheese. And my corn is still cooking, but it's going to be done in 37 seconds. When it's finished and you poured it into the mixture, it softens up the cream cheese so that you can stir it and all the flavors will meld together. I've had this dip before when we went to Asheville, and we had it instead of dinner. It was so good and it's filling that we just had to eat it, and that's all we ate it with. You can eat it with chips, you can eat it with crackers, anything that you can dip into. We love those chips that are shaped like scoops because then you can scoop out a big chunk of them. And it's very, very good, and I think that you will enjoy it too. Also what's in it is shredded cheese. Okay, there goes my corn. So I'm going to pull it out of the microwave. And this particular corn is in a steamer bag. These were the greatest inventions, whoever did that. It's frozen corn. All you do is throw the bag into the microwave, turn it on for 5 minutes, cooks the corn. Pull it out, let it set for a minute, and then it does have a tear off. I have no luck with the tear off, so I always use scissors. And you just cut off the top, and look at the steam. And smell that corn. It smells so sweet. And then when you pour it into the mixture, right away you can smell those chilies come to life because the heat has hit them. The tomatoes, all the sugar from the tomatoes and the sugar from the corn. So even though you don't think it's a very sweet dip, it does turn out to be a sweet dip, but then you have the hint of chilies that go in there. So as you mix it, since it's hot, this cream cheese will turn almost into liquid, and that is what you're going to pour into your dish. Once we do mix it all together, that's when we'll top it with some more cheese and put it in the oven. So this is just a great, easy recipe. So again, let me tell you what's in it. There's 1 package of Philadelphia cream cheese, 1 can of rotel, drained, 1 12-ounce package of shoe peg corn, and about 5 ounces of the, we use the white cheddar cheese. My kids love Vermont white cheddar cheese. My father was from Vermont, and he believed that that's where cheese was supposed to come from, so that's what we ate. So you mix it all up, and you can see now that it's all one big liquid consistency. There was like a little chunk of cream cheese in there and I just stirred that in. So then you take this mixture and you pour it into your dish. It can be an 8x8 serving dish like this, a little square one. If you have a round one, it's going to be hot when you pull it out. So if you have something that goes into a heated pot, and that has more decorative look to it, you can do that too. So you put this into the dish. And then I always shred my own cheese. So we shred some cheese. And then you take the cheese that's shredded, and just put it right over the top. So it becomes a very cheesy cream cheese, Philadelphia cream cheese dip. And you put it in the oven at 350 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes. So you put it in and let it bake. When it comes out, it's all melted and it's browning around the edges and bubbling. Put it in our little serving thing. I like to garnish with a little bit of cilantro. Put it in the corner of the pan. It's very hot right now. Then you need to let it cool for a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and walk out and give it to the boys. So Olivia or Rebecca, who is helping me, can carry out the chips. And we're gonna walk out. Somebody's generator is going. Gonna walk out into the porch. Okay, boys. You want some dip? We have some dip and some chips.
I love this dip.
It's so good. And here Maxie and I had this for dinner last night because it was just us, and then Daddy came home and finished it off, so we didn't even have any leftovers. Now it's going to be really hot, guys, because it just came out of the oven. So you might want to blow. Oh, Olivia's getting all the cheese off the top.
Look at me.
Delicious. Perfect every time. It's got a little bit of spice, a little bit of tomatoes, a lot of cheese. Perfect every time. So my name is Lisa Hildebrand from Pinehurst, North Carolina. Very good dip. Philadelphia cream cheese corn dip. Thank you.
Where's the red?